How are you, Kaleena?
I'm good. I'm wonderful. How are you?
Well, we're hanging in there today. I'm sweating,
You're
I
sweating?
but I'm passionate. So you know that passion sweat. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love a good passion sweat. I had a couple of those this morning.
Good.
Hiking.
Really? Did
Yeah.
you arrive somewhere that you meant to?
Yes, I did.
Good.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not quite sure at this point in the day, but I'm
Okay.
I imagine you saw something worthwhile, or maybe you thought of something.
I did. I saw a deer, a baby deer.
What? Where are you
Yeah.
hiking?
Yeah. I was hiking at Griffith Park in LA, and honestly, that baby deer, like it felt like it was like a sign. It felt like it was a sign of like everything's gonna be okay, oddly.
It's a Patronus from Harry Potter. You're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I saw. And I meant to see a sign of happiness and a breakthrough, and that was it.
Hmm. Kaleena, what's your favorite way to describe yourself? There's some things you would say about you.
Um, well, I like to say that I'm like 12 people mixed in one, kind of like a tornado or like a Tasmanian devil. Yeah, because I do a lot of things at one time, and I'm not really sure how they get finished, but they do somehow.
Hmm.
And so I just feel like it's just like I'm just like, woo! I have a lot of energy, and I'm usually very like hyper, and so I feel like I'm like a vortex of 12 people.
Which one of those 12 people feels like has been coming forward most often recently?
Oh, a really honest and open and emotional, vulnerable one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the one that's coming through the most. I think the state of the world is kind of, or definitely put me in some more honest spaces, and yeah, so I'm trying to work through that emotionally
Hmm.
and not just cover up and like harden, but I think it's just mostly just kind of allowing to feel it and allow it to like work through my art. And I think that's for me really important at this time, because I think I've just been bulldozing through life and in the past like year, and so now I think it's time for me to emotionally connect, and I've been doing a lot of that.
Clint, I know this was touch and go based on how you felt. One
Yeah,
of the ways that you process those emotions is through music. Do we get to
yeah.
hear you sing today, or are we talking about you singing
Yeah, I can sing like a little something.
today? Yeah.
Right now?
I think so. I think it'll set. I mean, if you're feeling those feelings, you saw the deer. It feels like
Yeah.
it's the perfect Tasmanian devil storm or something. Maybe you sing a little bit, and we drop back in and talk about it.
Okay, I'll stand up.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Now I'm standing up. Okay. Okay. I've been chasing the road to glory, driven since I was a child. Sweat and tears fall to push me forward. Pride and fear fuel the fire. They tell you life is a game, but it ain't a game to me. The lights are calling my name. Yeah, I got the energy to put it all on the line. I'm feeling larger than life. If you knock me down, I'll get up again. I'll get up again. Born unstoppable. I'll get up again. Now I'm stronger than I ever been. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, someone said, "Can I wake up to this every morning, please?" The answer,
Awesome.
of course, yes. Um, I've had a chance to listen to just small pieces of your music, thanks to a new friend of my life, Travis.
Travis.
Travis, and you have so many. If the thing that's coming through most frequently for you is that honest emotion, that raw vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like such a channel for you to do that. Um, what is something that you need to use your voice for right now? What is something that you're feeling passionate about being honest with?
Um, I honestly, more so than ever, and it's interesting that you said like, like I'm an activist. I think I've most recently become an activist, and it's mostly just speaking up as a Black person, which I don't think I've ever really done too much of, just because, I'm in music, and I sometimes like to be just kind and nice to everybody and try to get along. I don't usually like to rock the boat or anything, but like, in that honesty, I've discovered like I need to be talking and speaking as a Black person, within all of what's happening. So, I think that's the part where I feel like I'm using or trying to use my voice. And I'm even learning so much about even my own culture, which is which is interesting to say. I don't know everything at all, and I'm not gonna like suddenly start becoming self-righteous just because I'm Black. But I mean, I definitely feel like I have some things to say and some oppression that I felt with even in my own like industry that I didn't even know I was feeling, really. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I pull all those emotions at the forefront and talk about them. And some of my upcoming songs are about like the state of the world, and and just like my feelings about uh police brutality and things like that, but stuff that I've gone through that I think I've really like suppressed, and just kind of like, I live in LA, I live in a nice place, and it's, I have 2 cats, and everything is always yay. I'm hiking, and there's like dinners and there's lunches, and just like everything I think sometimes just gets washed over your head until you're actually faced with issues. And that's what I am. I'm faced with issues that I need to deal with. So
How do you think people who don't have to be faced with issues, how do we best call them into kindness right now?
oof. My biggest thing, or from what I just took away from that, is that I think people need to listen, and not just listen and just yes people, but like really take in like the sentences and the feelings of what people are experiencing. And I think it starts there. I think learning how to let go of your defenses, because someone's experience isn't necessarily an attack to someone else. It's just an experience that they've been going through in their life. And if we learn how to listen and empathize with people, I think that's the first step. And then beyond that, it would be, how do I help? Asking those questions. And that's just with anything. I mean, with I think any interaction with humans, it's just that basic thing that needs to happen.
Yeah, basic but complicated. It's like
Yeah, super complicated, because
but,
we're hearing through our filters of whatever we experience in life. So it could be wild.
that's a nice frame. We're hearing through our filters.
Mm-hmm.
What's the filter that you think you hear through right now that makes kindness for you hard towards certain experiences or certain people?
Wow. You know what? I kind of intuitively knew that you would ask this question, and I prepared myself in my heart to like say this. I don't know why, but like I was just like, he's gonna ask me this. So lately I've been challenged with people like needing too much stuff from me, or it could be how I've been relating to the world, and then people think I'm that person. So I've been trying to like take more time like for myself, and try not to um become hardened and closed off, because I have to realize that people don't necessarily know that 500 people, or I'm just using an exaggeration, but that this many amount of people are hitting me up at one time asking me for the one thing. Do you know what I mean? So like I have to remember not to respond like leave me alone in a way. like, not, I don't say those words, but, you know, like closed off. I have to be like, take every situation with like, okay, they don't understand. Maybe I can provide some why. Maybe I can take some time to, you know, maybe I take an hour or 2 hours to like, you know, take a walk or drink some water, just like things I need to learn how to give back to myself just as much as I am put out, you know? So I'm literally just like going through this whole thing, like in the last 2 weeks. So I'm still figuring out how to balance people and then my energy.
What are the requests that come in for you that feel most in alignment with what you want to give the world? What would someone request of you that you're like, yes, I want to give that wholeheartedly?
When honestly, when there are messages, even such as yours, like when Travis mentioned this to me, I was like, yeah, I want to do it, because it's not about any like music business, it's about kindness. And, you know, I also was hoping to find out something too, you know what I mean? And I like to, in music, I respond to messages that I think are for the world, or that I think would help people, or I think that are healing. So that's actually the core of who I am, you know, is I want to help. So I think that, I don't know, I think that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it becomes hard to parse sometimes because
Yeah.
everyone needs their own version of help. And so where do I
Yes.
go? Like, I'm in
Yeah.
alignment with the ability to help.
Yeah.
Tough.
That's, everyone needs help. And, you know, a lot of people think I'm very strong. I mean, I am strong, and but I also have moments where I just can't even function, you know? So I appreciate when people reach out to me for things like that too. And they're like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm good, but, you know, but I'm crazy. Like, it's just, yeah.
These 12 emojis, that's how I'm doing. These 12
Yeah.
people at once.
Like, yeah, literally emojis for days.
Do you say you want, part of your reason for showing up today is because you wanted to find something or learn something or hear something. Do you have
Yeah.
a sense of what you're seeking? Do you have a question on your heart as it relates to kindness?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, well, first of all, what does kindness mean to you? Because I think I have a general idea of it. And also, how do you give more kindness, and how do you receive kindness? You know, that type of thing.
Oh, okay. A couple of basic. Those are a lot
Just
of
a couple of basic questions.
Yeah. How do you do the whole thing? You know.
Yeah.
I I think one of the biggest challenges in our world right now is that the world is looking for a certain kind of help, and a lot of the things that people need help with are pretty complicated and challenging. And I think our world associates kindness more with the transactional, fluffy, surface level cotton candy things. At least that's what the media pays attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And what we give our attention to is what amplifies, and what amplifies in our culture is how we, I think, start to define those things and really live with them. And so, first of all, how do I think about kindness? I think about kindness as this disciplined pursuit towards something that's going to require me to listen. It's going to require me to sacrifice of something. Maybe it's my time, my energy, my effort, my pride, my ego, comfort. And it's going to need to be something that I find some way to do consistently over time. And I think in listening to you share, one of the big paradigm shifts for me, I quote this all the time because I find it to be empirically fascinating. Brene Brown, who has written a ton of books, she says the most compassionate people are the most boundaried, which means they've learned to say no to a lot of things in order for their yeses to be rich and authentic and real. Meaning their kindness, when they give it, is truly abundant versus feeling a sense of resentment, which a lot of us do about, like, I've signed up for this thing, even though I don't really want to do it. And then I show up disingenuously, which is that actual kindness or is it obligation?
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes.
Yeah, I think it happens to anyone who's passionate about helping in any capacity is we get wrapped up
Yeah.
in feeling like we have to help everything, when in reality we don't have the bandwidth for it, and our abilities don't always meet the circumstances.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Totally.
Kaleena, what is something that you feel like you've recently drawn a boundary with that has helped you maybe be more kind on the far side of it?
Yeah. Well, I drew a boundary with a person that I realized wasn't for me. If that's kind of that, but that provided a lot of clarity
Hmm.
and a lot of like freeing up of like mental space, just kind of like how you cleanse out your computer, you know what I mean? And I think that honestly, I feel this week has been very powerful, and I've I'm not even really thinking about the situation before at all. I'm just like that needed to leave, and I feel great, you know? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
boundaries makes
yeah.
it like that. You like defragged your life back in the day when you didn't have any computers. You like had to go through this process of like
Yeah.
figuring out, clearing the cache, clearing the cookies
Yeah.
to make space for things to run faster.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's cleaning up, people space.
People space. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. We all need, and I think it is a reminder that that is an action of kindness for them and for ourselves, right? To release them from a toxic. Toxic is too strong of a word in a lot of these situations, but a relationship that isn't actively serving both people is one that we get to give each other permission to walk away from, to give us both more space to free that up.
Mm-hmm.
Kaleena, this is the quick kindness question round, if you're prepared for it.
Okay.
I have a few questions. The first one is, what is another word for kindness in your mind?
Gifts.
The opposite of kindness is?
Pain. I don't know why I think of pain, but it makes me think of pain for some reason.
The kind of kindness the world needs is?
Love. I feel like a little kid in kindergarten. I'm a love. Pain.
Is good. Sometimes it's the basic stuff, as we've talked about, is the most complicated. Kaleena, I have a deep kindness challenge for you. It's to first think about a song that challenges you to be a better person. I love your music because it's sort of this impassioned thing that challenges us both in sort of its beauty, but also in its message. So I want you to think about an artist who has done that for you, and then I have this prompt for you that you can fill in the blank. So dear blank, whatever that person's name is or their artist name, and maybe even have a name of like this, like the lyrics for this song make me feel blank. Let's give it a try.
Okay. Dear Joy Olorok, it's hard to say her last name. It's Olodokan, like that. She has this, the lyrics for Who Do I Turn To make me feel great empathy and I feel heard. Your art matters, and I want to thank you for being and vulnerable.
It's such a joy to hear you share your voice, to know that for whatever reason you're in the right place. You got deer coming into your life. You're drawing boundaries. You're nearing that sort of bounty and a fresh perspective that's going to allow you to live an even more kind life. And we can't wait for some of that new music to come out.
Yeah,
I'm charge us all with more kindness.
Yes. Thank you. This was really great. Really,
Thank you, Kaleena. Have a great day.
You as well. Bye, everyone.